In today's video, we're going to go over 3 skills that most of you aren't working on with your physical therapist that are absolutely game changers for later stages of recovery. If you're new to this channel, I'm Tara, I'm a neurologic physical therapist with over 20 years of experience helping people restore their mobility and their independence after a neurologic injury. And my passion and my mission for this channel is to empower anyone with a mobility limitation with the necessary tools to get to that next level in your recovery. And all that said, today we are going to go over 3 movements that are often missed or maybe just neglected in most kind of traditional physical therapy plans. And the first one is rolling from your back to your stomach. Now I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute, but I want to tell you why this is so important. One is it's absolutely necessary for getting off the floor. And I know maybe some of you haven't gotten on the floor yet, but God forbid you unintentionally end up on the floor, or involuntarily as I like to call it. If you can roll to your stomach, it significantly helps those around you to be able to help you get up. 2 is it's a very early stage way to weight bear on your elbows, and I'll show you that when we get into that position. And 3 is it's an incredible stretch for your hips and your low back, especially for those of you that have been in a hospital bed where you've kind of been flexed forward or you've been sitting in a chair for a while. But now, why is it foundational? Well, one is, like I said, you get that weight bearing through your arms, but it also is a way to work all of your posterior chain. So all the muscles on your backside that help you to stand upright when you get to standing and walking and going up and down stairs and all of those other activities, being able to do activities laying on your stomach is a great way to develop all of those muscles that will allow you to do those later stage activities. Okay, so those are just a few of the most important reasons. There's a ton more, but let me just get to showing you how to do it, okay? And again, you should be able to do this to both sides. So you're gonna start laying flat. Now, I'm gonna show you the way that I want most of you to be able to learn this skill, and that is without using your hands or hooking your foot on the side of the bed. Okay, why is that so important? Because when you hook, you're not using all of the muscles that are going to be so essential to walking down the road. So you're going to do this by bringing your leg up, and you're going to tuck up and roll. So that kind of gets you to your side. I'm going to back up here. Hopefully you guys are doing this in your bed, which is a lot wider. Okay, and then if this is your strong arm, so we're going to do it the easier way first, which is towards your strong arm. Okay, what a lot of you are doing is you're pulling yourself over towards your strong arm, but I promise you, if you can just get this leg started and tuck up, you want to roll towards your strong arm, bring your uninvolved arm kind of underneath, right, and try and get into this position. Now, it's shocking how many people are surprised how easy this is once I show it to them. At first, they're like, oh no, I can't get onto my stomach. But then once I show them the trick of just getting propped up on your strong arm and they do it once, it's like a light bulb goes off and they don't really need any help with it after that. So it's really all about technique, but prop up on your strong arm. And then really you're just using gravity and just kind of let yourself fall, okay? And then remember what, like I said, once you're on your stomach, you can get propped up on your elbows, which I've shown this in other videos, and work on reaching. So you're getting that weight bearing through your arms. You can start working on the next movement for getting up off the floor, a little bit more advanced, but I'm just going to show it to you so you have kind of a vision. But, you know, being able to get onto your stomach and push back onto your knees is one method of getting up off of the floor that is pretty effective, and many of you can do that now. If you have a very spastic leg, the trick would be just to have someone hold your leg. So when I say spastic leg, some of you guys, your leg just shoots out straight and it kind of stops you, like your leg is like a stiff board, and so you can't do that. Just to start out, just have someone hold your right behind your knee and just help you up a little bit kind of at your hips, and then work on walking your elbows back. Okay, so that's the other reason why getting on your stomach is so, so valuable. But then also you're just stretching everything out, right? You've been flexed in that hospital bed for, some of you weeks or months, and this just gets your hips and everything just really stretched out. But for those of you that are a little bit higher level, it's a great way to work all of those muscles on the back side. A great place to start is with your arms down here. It's the easiest way to kind of lift your chest up, but you can see you're engaging all of those muscles on the back side of your body, which are so critical in your posture, but also helpful when you're going up and down hills and up and down stairs. Okay, so that is skill number one, rolling from your back to your stomach. That is often neglected with your traditional physical therapy. But now let's move on to movement or skill number two. Skill number two is stepping backwards. Now, I am shocked how many patients tell me they've never worked on this with their physical therapist. And really, if you can stand, even if you're standing and you're holding on to something like a lot, you can absolutely start working on stepping backwards. It's not really like an advanced skill. If you can take a step forward, you can definitely start learning how to step backwards. Why is this so important? For so many reasons. One is it really does help you to start learning what we call like out of synergy movements for your legs. So what is a synergy pattern? It's when multiple joints, kind of the muscles link up together. And so when you move one joint, all the joints move together. So an extensor synergy pattern is when you extend your knee, your hip kind of extends and your foot points. That's an extensor synergy pattern. And a flexor synergy pattern is when you flex your hip up or you flex your knee, everything kind of wants to flex up at the same time. Those are synergy patterns. They are part of the recovery process or stages of movement recovery after a stroke, according to some people. That's one theory, which I somewhat agree with just through my clinical experience. And they are the first step in getting movement back. But if you let your movements be like kind of dominated by these synergy patterns, they kind of become hardwired. And you want to start as soon as you're moving your limb and you notice it's moving in these patterns, you want to start working what we call out of synergy patterns, meaning you want to be able to extend your hip and bend your knee, right? So if hip flexion and knee flexion go together, you want to be able to extend your hip and bend your knee, right? But that is if you are swinging the involved leg backwards, which I'm going to have labeled here with this little piece of tape. But when I say stepping backwards is a foundational skill, I'm talking about either leg. So this is going to be a little bit harder for you guys, but also stepping back with your uninvolved leg. Now, why is stepping back with this leg so important? Well, it forces you to load this leg without using a synergy pattern. So remember what I said. The extensor synergy pattern is that when your knee goes straight, your ankle points at the same time. There's just something about having to step this foot backwards that kind of trains your body to stay forward, right? Because if you start falling backwards, this foot just, in my experience, you're just not really going to be able to step that foot back, or it's immediate feedback that something has not gone right, right? Whereas when you're going forward, you can kind of cheat it a little bit and you're not going to really recognize it. Like your system is not going to really recognize it internally that you're using synergy patterns. But there's something about just stepping your stronger leg backwards and having to load this leg that will absolutely help with things like going up and down stairs down the road, going up hills down the road, things like that. So stepping backwards, okay, with both legs. Stepping backwards with your uninvolved leg, and the more difficult one, stepping this foot backwards. Now, this might be a little bit controversial to those of you that are like dead set on like quality movement, and there are some of you out there because I talk to you guys, but which is shocking because it didn't used to be that way. You probably, before you started watching this channel, you were compensating and you were totally happy. But um, I don't care if you compensate a little bit to get this leg back initially. Okay, so a lot of you aren't going to be able to bend your knee and slide your leg back at initially. So my suggestion is get it back there any way that you can. There's something about just learning how to have this leg behind you that is also extremely valuable. So if you can't bend your knee and slide your foot back, definitely just swing it around the side, or you can vault up a little bit on your stronger leg. Okay? You just do whatever you can to get this leg backward behind you and then try and get a little bit of weight on it and bend that knee. Okay, it doesn't have to look perfect. It's just a movement that is going to be so, so valuable down the road that you can get that foot back for fall prevention, for a whole host of reasons. You don't want to be in a situation where you're leaning back and you've never had this foot behind you. Okay, so yes, we're working on stepping backwards, but if you need to compensate or use momentum initially to get that foot back, totally okay. And then you're just going to shift your weight back to that leg, shift your weight back to your front leg, and then bring it forward. You can definitely hold on for this one, especially if you're in the earlier stages. So that is movement number 2, is stepping backwards. And then movement number 3 is kind of twofold. Both are essential for getting up off the floor, but also just starting to really stretch your hips out and your thighs. A lot of you have really tight quads and your ankles, believe it or not, but that is going down to a low step. Now, again, these videos are not intended for you to go out and try any of this on your own. These are just suggestions or maybe things that you can bring up with your therapist that maybe you can work on with your therapist, but I don't recommend you do this on your own to start out. But we're going to stick with this being the involved leg, okay? So the way that you do that is you just lean onto your uninvolved arm, your stronger arm, and see if you can go down and back up, okay? Now, you can grade this any way you want. You could set a block on here. So I have a block here just to kind of make it even a little bit easier so that you're not going down as low and you're just working on shifting forward, going down a little bit and pushing yourself back up. Now, why is this important? You're learning how to leverage yourself on one arm. That's one reason, which is absolutely another essential skill when getting up off the floor. Yes, you're kind of learning how to compensate, but there are some things where you really do want to know how to kind of leverage yourself onto your stronger arm. Okay, I'm going to turn just a little bit so you can see me a little bit better, but leveraging yourself onto this arm and going down and then back up. Okay, and then once you get really good at that, you want to see if you can go down just a little bit lower. Go right back up. Okay, again, this is your strong arm, so you're just leveraging yourself onto your strong arm. Down. And I told you this is kind of a twofold exercise, just kind of sitting in a low squat position. It's kind of the beginning stages of just kind of getting yourself closer to the floor, acquainting yourself with the floor. I've talked about this in other videos, but you want to feel very comfortable. You want to be very, very friendly with the floor. Having like an aversion to the floor or being afraid of the floor, in my opinion, makes you more likely to fall. Just as an observer who has seen people fall in public, it is that shock, that moment where you might lose your balance and you think you might go down to the ground, that you panic and your body just does not react appropriately to regain your balance and you go down. It's just, again, you want to be very acquainted with the floor. Don't do this by yourself for the first time. Definitely work with a therapist. When I work with patients this for the first time, I have like a very, very secure gait belt that has a gait belt that goes around the waist, that has leg pieces on it. It's kind of like a rock climbing harness so that I can provide a lot of assistance. This is not an easy skill, but again, it is essential. And then from there, it's actually the beginning stages of, kind of being able to get on one knee, which is also very, very important for being able to get up off the floor down the road in those later stages. But more than that, I do a lot of half kneeling activities, and I've had made other videos where I've talked about the benefits of that. So again, just a foundational kind of movement progression that it will absolutely change the game in your later stage of recovery if you master this early. But that is it for this video. If this video resonated with you and you feel like going to physical therapy just once or twice a week isn't really getting you to your goals as quickly as you wish, our Gold membership program was designed with you in mind. As a Gold member, you get access to our monthly webinars, our monthly Q&As, our weekly kind of virtual, what I'm calling virtual office hours, and it just fills the gap of giving you that guidance consistently throughout the week and the month, which is the missing component for most traditional physical therapy settings. But in addition to that, you get access to an entire vault of exercises that I give to my patients that I see in person with progressions of activities. So if you want to learn more about our membership program, you want to sign up, or you want to schedule a discovery call to talk to someone about your goals to see if our membership program is right for you, you can visit rehab-hq.com. I enjoyed spending time with you all today, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.